Democracy is a government in which power is ultimately held by the people, typically through elected representatives. The best definition I've ever heard of for government is this one. Government is the way we are together. The way we are together as a community, the way we are together as a state, and even the way we are together as a country. So let's go through our Meet the People welcome bag. If it ain't fun, don't do it. Everything you approach regarding history, civics, government, even the legal system, it can and should be fun. These are the 3 branches of government. Number 1, the executive branch. That's where the president works. Number 2, this is the judicial branch. This is filled with lawyers, judges, and all the people who do things in court. Number 3, this is our branch. It's referred to as the people's branch. Its official title is the legislative branch. And that is where you're going to find our representatives and our senators. Representatives are members of the House of Representatives who were elected by a district in their state. Their job is to make laws, and they serve a 2-year term. They are also called congressmen or congresswomen. Senators are members of the Senate who were elected by their state. Their job is to make laws, and they serve 6-year terms. You'll also find your R's and your D's. That stands for Republicans and Democrats. These are called parties. Now let's remember something. Senators and congressmen, they aren't supposed to work for their parties. They work for us. When they're sworn in, they take an oath to this right here. This is the Constitution of the United States of America. It's the owner's and operator's manual. It's literally the care and feeding of America and Americans. And the framers, you know them as Benjamin Franklin, Alexander Hamilton, Thomas Jefferson. These guys, they said, we don't want parties. We want our congressmen and our senators working for the people. So, now all we have are people working as our representatives. Their job is to work for us, and they are subject to the Constitution and to us, first and only. Democrat, Republican, Freedom Caucus, Green Party, Libertarian, parties are not in the Constitution, period. All of this is about the power to the people. This is us, you and me, the people. We maintain the power. Sadly, democracy isn't something we can just pick up at the grocery store. I mean, you can't even order it on Amazon Prime. And that's because democracy is not a thing. It's an idea and a way of being. I mentioned President Reagan earlier, and his words are worth repeating. He said, freedom and democracy are always one generation away from extinction. We don't pass it down in the bloodstream like those blue eyes or dimples. And we don't inherit it like an antique clock or vintage baseball cards. We literally create and recreate it every day. And we have to fight for it. And we have to protect it. And then we have to hand it to the next generation so that they can do the same. That sounds kind of important, right? If it is important, and it is, then it makes no sense that we aren't being fully trained in the ways of the American Jedi. Since the education system has no interest in teaching us this information, we have to start at the beginning. And we do that by taking each other where we are and as we are. Now, these are the many colors of our own political rainbow. And what is a political rainbow? Well, it's the stories, the experiences, and the upbringing that have influenced and shaped the way each of us sees things. That's also called our ideology. These things don't make us good or bad. They only mean that there's a lot to every human being you know. In order to hold on to our power, we're going to have to start talking to each other and listening to each other. And that includes people whose perspectives we don't understand, and even people we don't agree with. Okay, now, how do we do that? By being respectful and by listening. And you're not going to listen like a hungry cat ready to pounce. And you're not going to listen so you can react at them. You will listen to understand them. If someone says something you don't like, the first thing you do is not to put them in their place or shout them down. As weird as it sounds, the first thing you do is to respectfully ask them a question to help you understand why they think that way or feel that way. Does that make sense? It's about investigating and discovering each other's worlds. And as soon as you do that, you're going to begin to understand them. And suddenly we have that infinity symbol where I'm listening to you and talking, and you're listening to me and talking, and the next thing you know, we have communication. If you do that, then you can talk to anybody, anytime, anywhere, about any topic. And your reward will be that people are going to respect you and they're going to listen to you. Okay, let's talk about fake news. The worst thing about fake news is it's real, it's everywhere, and there is nothing you can do about it. Okay, that's not true. There are credible reporters and newspapers, and there are non-credible newspapers and reporters. There are people and outlets who stand behind their work, and those that just want your money. Sometimes a reporter can be inaccurate. Sometimes people are out there intentionally trying to mislead you. And sometimes someone gets it wrong. Journalism is a career. News is an industry. Infotainment is a thing. Opinion commentators, they're a thing. Online hackers and trolls, they're a thing. You will need to learn the difference between what someone is giving an opinion and when they're actively trying to mislead you or presenting you with facts. Journalists must follow FAIR, F-A-I-R, fairness and accuracy in reporting. Opinion commentators and infotainers do not, and trolls do not at all. More on that in a little bit. Knowledge is the key to just about everything. The more you have of it, the more power you'll maintain. Fight fire with facts, not fire. Now, I know it feels like government has been raising the bar on us for a long time. No matter who you are or where you are in your life, it's starting to feel like that bar is getting pretty high. Well, I'm going to give you some information so that you can raise the bar in Congress, so that you can raise the bar on your government, so that you can raise the bar, and we can start making sure everything works for us. Remember, if it's about me, it's about you. And if it's about you, it's about me, the people.